Congresswoman Michelle Steel represents California's 48th Congressional District. California's economy is the largest in the United States. We asked the Congresswoman how the Golden State has been coping with unprecedented inflation. We also had a chance to ask her about a recent action she's took with regard to discrimination against Asian Americans in the country's education system. Here's our interview. Congresswoman Michelle Steel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me today.
Congresswoman, many experts are saying that inflation is or could be well beyond the 8.3% that we're hearing and that we're seeing. You're starting to see some very prominent Democrats, Jeff Bezos, criticizing Biden's policies in regard to these inflation numbers that we're seeing. What do you think this means for the Democratic Party?
You know what? I think they understand that this is going to be really hurting them. And we have an election coming up in this November, and they're the one created it. So we really have to get rid of it. But you know what? 8.3% of inflation means that, you know what? It's a hidden taxes. So when you go to the market, you feel actually much higher than that. Because I know I go to the market every week. I spend $120 worth of merchandise I used to get. Now that I pay about $180, it's almost like 30%. So it's a really big hit for not just low income, middle income. It hurts everybody out there. And then on the top of it, you have to think about the gas price. California just hit $6 per gallon. And some places that you go, like San Francisco and Sacramento, $9 per gallon. How these people can go out and work back and forth to their family. They have to support their family. And gas prices are high, inflation's high. I mean, how are they going to survive?
Congresswoman, there seems to be an unfortunate phenomenon that we're seeing throughout the country where Asian students are being discriminated against. You recently filed an amicus brief at the Supreme Court along with Senator Ted Cruz revolving around some of these issues. Can you explain to us why you did that?
You know what? It's all race, because they try to accept the students by the race, not by the merit. And I've been seeing that. And even in California, in 1996, we passed Proposition 209 to get rid of affirmative action. Actually, they came out really good because 4 years graduation rate used to be 31%. And after you got rid of affirmative action, and it went up to 55%. But these Ivy League schools or other, well-known universities, and they try to cut down the students, especially Asian Americans, and they are using personality traits to try to find that they're well respected or their likability. How you can find them without interviewing these kids, just reading their essays. That's the way it was. So Harvard University, actually, their average Asian American students' acceptance rate was always 18 to 20%. I even talked to Secretary Cardona, and he agreed all these children has to be accepted by merit, not by race. So you are actually using certain criteria to accept less number of the kids because of the race. It's not acceptable. And Asians have to get more than 450 points actually on their SATs to get accepted comparing to other communities. How can that happen? Well, you know what? A lot of Asian Americans, my parents did the same thing. They came to this country. They want to make sure that you get the best education ever, so you really have to study hard. But when colleges looking at their race and too many Asians are applying it, then we have to cut it. So this is all race basis. And we've been working on that since 1990s. And that's what, we have to get rid of it because everybody has to be accepted by merit. That's what we've been working on it. So it's been a long time. And Asian Americans been actually discriminated.
Congresswoman Michelle Steel, thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me today.